From Don Carter's All-Star Lane, Dallas West in the Metroplex. ESPN's live coverage of the PBA Tour continues with the Dallas Open. Dave Ryan and Randy Peterson, we have 4 finalists, 2 of whom are bidding for their first ever PBA title, and now they're ready to roll.
He won the PBA Rookie of the Year award in 2003 and was points champion in 2004. He hopes 2005 will be his first title. From Lockport, New York, Brad Angelo.
He's figured out how to make it to match play. He's figured out how to make it to the big show. Can he figure out a way to win a tournament today?
Oh, Canada! A native of Girard, Quebec, he bowled his way under the PBA Tour at Tour Trials last summer, and today makes his first ever TV Finals appearance. Patrick Girard.
Patrick is one of the few PBA bowlers to rival Robert Smith's power. He bangs on it with a real loose swing, and when it doesn't hook back, he bangs on it harder.
From Terrytown, New York, he finished second at this season's ABC Masters. Today he looks for career title number 3, Patrick Allen.
Out of 8 lefties that made it to match play, only PA made it to TV. The free spirit with the free swing looks to capitalize on being the lone left-hander in today's field.
His 6 career PBA titles include the 2000 U.S. Open, one of the hottest bowlers on tour. He finished second last week in El Paso. From Thousand Oaks, California, Robert Smith.
Maximum Bob is back, and back with a vengeance. The most powerful player on the PBA Tour. When he's on his game, he reduces the pins to shrapnel.
These are your finalists for the PBA Dallas Open.
Welcome, everyone, to Big D, the 12th PBA event in this great city, 103rd in the state of Texas. A huge crowd jammed in to watch 4 of the world's best bowlers gun for the title. Randy, let's check those matchups.
Thanks, Dave. Semi-final number 1 pits 2 bowlers with differing experience levels and the same goal, a first PBA title. Brad Angelo won Rookie of the Year 2 years ago as a 33-year-old. Patrick Girard, well, he just turned 21 in September. In semifinal number 2, the top left-hander on the PBA points list, Patrick Allen, takes on Robert Smith, who looks to improve on last week's runner-up finish in El Paso.
All right, Randy, for the first time we say bienvenue. Welcome to Patrick Girard from near Quebec City, Quebec. You came in a little bit early today to get a lay for the land, your first ever show. Did that help ease your nerves a bit?
Not really right now. I'm so nervous. That's not funny, but I'm going to enjoy it. So everybody enjoy.
Best of luck to you. Brad, you've been around. He's only 21 years old. A youngster making his first ever TV show today. Can he take advantage of his inexperience?
Well, I don't know. I mean, he's accepting the fact that he's nervous, and he could come out and strike like crazy, like he did all week. So I don't know. I just got to try to keep the pressure on him.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Perhaps one of these 2, Randy, wins their first ever PBA title today here in Dallas.
Lots of money at stake, almost $250,000 total prize fund, $40,000 to the winner, and a 1-year exemption for next year's 2005-2006 season. Remember, win 1 match, you guarantee yourself no less than $20,000. This match, right off the bat, is going to come down to experience, and that will be to the advantage of Brad Angelo. Patrick Girard in shock that he actually started his first ever shot on television with a strike, Dave.
Wow. Got a great memory for Patrick Girard. South of the border, but not much. Lockport, New York, near Buffalo. Here's Brad Angelo's first ball in Dallas today. 10-pin. PBA Rookie of the Year, who had 5 shows last season, but still, as we've talked about, has not won that coveted PBA championship as yet. Will that change today? 10-pin for him, finally taking on a right-hander after rolling through some lefties. We'll talk about that. Leading us to the Baby Ruth Real Deal matchup, number 1 of the day, Randy.
Hey, looks like a pretty tight matchup, but the big difference isn't written. I'll write it for you. This guy's 35. This guy's only 21. Again, experience. Angelo. And this is what experience does for you, Dave. Ranked number 1 in match play this year.
This is his 3rd TD show of the season as well. Perfect ball. Shutting the rack is Brad Angelo. He lost to Rick Lawrence in St. Louis. The BowlusParadise.com opened a title match. Also to Norm Duke in the semis in Medford, Oregon.
In practice, Brad started off much further to the right. Now he's right around the second arrow. Both shots that he threw, even though he left a ring in 10 the first frame. Perfect.
An incredible story. Patrick Girard. 10-pin for him. Just 21 years old. A year ago, knew almost no English. His rookie year on tour.
It's a good test.
And we're a bit surprised he's speaking English to himself, because we asked him before the show today, is going to count in French or English, Patrick? And he'll take the 10-pin as well. A 21-year-old youngster enjoying every moment of it. 221.37 average to get here. Only beat the player of the year last year, Mika Koivuniemen, in 5 games. Longtime veteran Hugh Miller in 5, the lefty, and Mike Machuga, one of the best bowlers on tour this year, in 6. Oh, almost a Brooklyn. He didn't like it when he released that ball, no question.
On your toe.
And a 6-pin.
Well, right now, Patrick Girard's just finding it difficult to breathe. But as you can see, he didn't like that shot. As soon as it left his hand, left all the way. This week, you didn't have a lot of oil in the middle part of the lane to keep that ball on line.
Through the tour trials in June, Patrick Girard finished 2nd behind Mike Edwards.
Where we go now?
To get exempts. And you see the very unusual glasses he has there. There's a story behind the glasses frames Patrick is wearing. We'll break down for you as well. Those are actually sunglass frames that he got from the Circus Casino in Reno for 50 cents. You know, you put the money in, they got the little crane thing, you bring them out, prizes. Well, he did well with the tour trials. 2nd, wearing those glasses. Those are prescription lenses inside sunglass frame. For 50 cents he got them. Now there's lucky glasses.
He's too young to be in a casino, isn't he?
He might have just been 21. So deliberate, perfect pacing as he comes to the foul line. Thing of beauty.
Yeah, and early on, no hooping it up for Brad Angelo. He's just business as usual right now, and right now he's really putting it on first-timer Patrick Girard. As you can see how Brad got here. All 3 left-handers he defeated en route. 4-1, 4-2, 4-3, 7-game match with Mike Scroggins to get here today.
Scroggins, a Texas native. Yeah, lane level look. Beautiful shot from our crew, and a great shot from Brad Angelo as well. Shreds the rack. He said to us last night, Randy, he has got to become a shot maker this week. That has been his specialty. And this oil pattern, the scorpion pattern, we'll break down for you throughout our broadcast today, really adheres to his game, and that he can be a technician on this oil. In English, in French, no matter what. That's a great shot. Patrick Girard.
Get this one out to about the 4th board, and all that power and revolutions. Gets that ball to bite. Makes its turn up into the 1-3. Caves a 10 in last. He needs to do a lot more of that to get back in this match.
We hear him taking the deep breaths. How is he handling this pressure right now? That's light.
Well, he's handling it okay. He doesn't have any opens yet, but He's been suspect on the left lane. With the spare here, he'll still be clean, but he'll also be trailing by 21.
He is from 2 hours north of Quebec City, Quebec, folks, if you are familiar with that province. And the geography, we're talking northern Quebec, where almost no English is spoken. It's like going to the countryside of France up there. And our road to the PBA Danny's World Championship. Danny Wiseman, having won the ABC Masters to begin our season, is #1. But Patrick Allen, still bidding for his first title of the year, was a finalist to Wiseman in Milwaukee. Makes his second show today, and he takes on Maximum Bob. Robert Smith, finalist last week in El Paso. Righty-lefty match up there. Hook a little. Yeah! Hurried back into the pocket for Angelo. And another strike for Brad.
The deliberate five-step approach of Brad Angelo. Right now, Brad Angelo is in the driver's seat, taking command of this match early. He knows that he's one match win away from bowling for the title, and winning a tournament on the PBA Tour is the only thing Brad Angelo really hasn't accomplished out here. He's done everything else.
4-bagger now for Angelo. Went for 5 in a row, chance for a 41-pin lead, commanding. That's what he told us last night. I don't want to give Patrick Girard any hope. He can win this match. 4-pin for Angelo there. Early in the first segment, before our first commercial break, Brad said, I want this match over with. And he's done pretty well so far today.
See, and this is a good sign right here. Even though he doesn't strike, that ball was well left of target, but it stayed on line long enough to only leave the 4-pin.
And the native of Western New York has himself a mark. Broke the 4-bagger streak he had going against young Patrick Girard. When we return, we'll talk much more about the storylines of our great event here in Dallas. Break down the scorpion pattern. And we'll conclude this exciting semifinal. Girard Angelo coming up.
At jacksonhewitt.com/PDW.
That you can never get enough PDW.
The PBA on ESPN, brought to you by Odor Eaters. With unique Zorbatex technology, destroys foot odor and absorbs sweat on contact. By Miller High Life, to live simply, proudly, boldly, manly. This is the high life. And by Dexter, the #1 bowling shoe in the world. What's your size?
Who is that man on those voiceovers, huh? All right, Randy, that's good stuff. Might have a new job. We're at PBA Dallas Open. Angelo and Girard continuing here. This center named after one of the all-time great PBA bowlers in Don Carter. It goes back to the 50s and 60s. His prowess on tour. The center honoring him. Now lives in South Florida. You know him pretty well.
Great player and a great man, and I've had the pleasure of being a friend of his for quite a number of years. Played golf with him. He's a great guy.
Welcome, everyone, to Dallas. Dave and Randy, our entire crew with you. Our live coverage of the PBA Tour continuing. Great stories, Randy, emerging today. Patrick Girard, perhaps none better than that, folks. He did not speak a word of English about a year ago. PBA Tour trials, he was a huge surprise. Finished second to Mike Edwards to make this tour this season. He had never won a match play match at all until the Orange County Classic just about a month ago. Now, all of a sudden, he's on the verge of perhaps winning his first title. That's a great story to track today. And then Robert Smith as well, really emerging as more of a versatile bowler than perhaps even we thought he'd be.
He really is. Last week, it was no surprise to see him on the telecast on that cheetah pattern. He won twice on that pattern last year. Kind of surprised this week, though. You know, this pattern doesn't play anything like last week's pattern. But Bob has recommitted himself. He's rededicated, and he's become a lot more versatile. And he certainly is a force to be reckoned with the second half of the season.
Last week in El Paso, Parker Bone III almost had a 300 game in the championship match against Robert Smith. That was on the cheetah pattern. Now, Crocodile with the scorpion pattern.
Scorpion pattern, 41 feet. And unlike last week, the players didn't have a whole lot of help in the middle part of the lane, and they didn't have that free hook on the outside part of the lane. So what they did, well, they played everywhere. Some guys played out, some guys played in, some guys played in between. Basically, it was pick your poison, find the best spot, repeat shots, and hope.
Did you say poison from the scorpion pattern?
That's right, poison from the scorpion pattern. This is what they've done the last 3 years on this pattern. Now, keep in mind, the PBA lane maintenance crew has made some adjustments over the year. I mean, when we first started on this pattern back in 02-03, this pattern was brutal.
Down by 30. Works on a spare here to begin the 6th frame. Patrick Girard, we talked about, from a remote part of Provincetown, Quebec. Had to hurry. Avoids the double wood, just has the 2-pin up. His father, this TV broadcast will be on tape delay, being shown on TSN, the ESPN partner up in Canada. And his dad is going to translate from English. We'll be here, you and I, on the broadcast up there in Quebec, to French for the rest of the family to hear. So, unique experience for the Girard family.
One of these two players here, if they were to go on and win, would eliminate me from the Tournament of Champions, the Dexter Tournament of Champions at season's end. And I never root against anyone. But let's just say, maybe I'm not rooting so strongly for Brad or Patrick.
One of these two to send you out of our event in Uncasville, Connecticut in April.
You can see Patrick Girard is trying to play a similar, that's easy for me to say, line than Brad Angelo. The difference being Patrick Girard's rev rate much higher, so it's going to be much more sensitive when he throws a bad shot.
With his Brunswick ball, Brad Angelo. Another perfect shot in 24 of his 25 games coming into this final. Today on TV, used one ball. Very pleased with his reaction.
This is Medford here. Check this out. See where the ball placement is? This is today. Difference being on this picture here to the left, Brad Angelo trying to go straighter. He raises the ball the top of his swing to increase his ball speed. Good tip for folks at home. If you want to throw it slower, hold it lower. You want to throw it faster, hold that ball up higher. Just again shows you how versatile you have to be out here.
Almost help from the messenger across the deck for number 10. That goes back to shot making. With Robert Smith also will seen him be a lot more versatile with different oil patterns, and that's what Brad was telling us last night, Randy. He's got to come up with these big shots at the right time and adjust to the changing conditions with the oil.
Well, I agree. Brad has got the whole arsenal now. He's versatile. He can do everything he wants to do. What he has to do now is when he gets to the title match, he has to make the right decisions before he throws that first ball. He's got to know in his mind this is the right thing to do, and it's got to be the correct move.
Youngster Patrick Girard works on the strike. He can cut this to a 21-pin deficit, trying to become the first ever Canadian to win a PBA Tour title. He likes that ball. Next week, the best bowlers in the world head to Alabama for the PBA Birmingham Open. Check the start time, though, folks. A little bit earlier than normal, 12:30 Eastern, half an hour earlier than we would usually start for you, 9:30 on the West Coast. For more, log on to ESPN.com. PBA Birmingham Open from Greater Birmingham, Alabama. Looking forward to going there. Back to Girard. Can he ever throw the ball hard?
And don't go anywhere, folks, because Patrick Girard just made this a match. If he strikes out in the 10th frame, he's going to shoot 238. Right now, Brad Angelo going at a 229 pace.
Early lead for Brad. Seemed like he had squelched out any hope that Girard might have, but Patrick has very gradually worked himself back in with a turkey ball in that last frame.
Wow.
4-pin on the response from Angelo.
Almost a 4-9. Now, Brad Angelo with a conversion here. If he were to strike out in the 10th frame, he'll shoot 238. I already told you what Patrick Girard can do, but this is the interesting note. Brad Angelo had the choice of what lane he wanted to start and finish on. He chose to finish the match on the left lane, which makes Patrick Girard get up in the 10th on the right lane and try to finish Brad Angelo off.
Light it up.
Brad will finish first. Patrick Girard will finish last.
Ten-pin lead off the spare and the foundation frame for Angelo. Max scores. Look at that. Might we have a roll off here? Could be. Really had to hurry. Ouch. Just a disaster. Way light in the Swiss zone.
Well, and you don't see Brad do this very often, but that was a bad shot. He got it to the right. He said no good. And right now he's in trouble. However, with a conversion here and good count, he will still force Patrick Girard to strike on the first ball in the 10th frame. Very important to cover this washout.
1-2-4-10. Does it! Oh, what a huge shot for Angelo, who has had so many struggles on television in big moments. That may be a career changer for him.
Boy, and that head pin almost went around the 10. The neck of it caught the 10 pin. Great conversion. Remember those two huge split conversions he made in Medford against Norm Duke.
But what happened in the end did not win that tournament. Still, the quest continues for his first title.
That's a lot better.
Liked it better,
All right,
however.
thank you.
An 8-pin count, 4-7 up for Brad Angelo.
Yeah, that's enough. Now, the situation's simple. Girard needs a strike on the first ball and 8, and he will advance. Anything less, Brad Angelo wins sitting on the bench.
All right.
Can you believe the moment this youngster, 21 years old, is facing right now?
5-step approach. Check out the high backswing and the cupped wrist right there. He's got to have it. He stood up on his feet.
Yeah, that was off. You could tell from the release.
Bad.
Yeah, he just
That was extremely
overthrew it. Boy, he just got real fast. He was off to the races.
Oh my God, Patrick.
When you're 21 years old, it's kind of hard to control the adrenaline when you need one.
But still, what an experience for him as he takes care of the
No.
mark there.
That was a great match.
He is guaranteed by getting to the semifinals, as Angelo does advance off to the championship. Girard has won $10,000. Last year on tour, he won about $9,500. So already he's surpassed that. And that was the 17 events. And I asked him before the show today, hey, we know
You're
you
the one that was supposed to be nervous, and I got a little nervous over there. Good bowling this week.
we know you share a cell phone with your roommate. How about affording your own cell phone now that you won the $10,000? He said he wants to invest it. Brad Angelo is through. We're down 8 remaining bowlers in the Miller High Life PBA Skills Challenge. Tony Reyes and Chris Barnes start us off when we come back.